Number 5 says there's a total of 8 guys and 6 girls in a class. How many ways can you pick only 3 guys and 2 girls from that group? So we actually have two different things going on here. We have a group of guys and we have a group of girls. So we're actually going to have two different combinations. And again, the order doesn't matter here, like we saw with that last problem, is that when you're picking groups of people and you're just trying to pick a couple names, the order of the names does not matter. So that's where it would be a combination. So we actually have two different combinations we're working with. We got to figure out how many different ways could you pick 8 guys. I'm sorry, we're not picking 8 guys. We're picking 3 guys from 8. So from 8, we're going to choose 3. And then the other thing we're looking at is another combination would be for girls. How many different ways could we pick 2 girls from a total of 6? So six girls, we're choosing 2. And what ends up happening is that we need to then figure out the factorial for each one of these. So remember that it's the total. So there's 8 guys. What you pick, so we're picking 3, and then what you don't pick. For the girls, there's a total of 6 girls. What you pick, we're picking 2 of them, and then what you don't pick, we're not picking 4 of them, I should say. So again, as is with the last one from here, if we wanted to just put it into the calculator, we could do that, or we could do it by hand. So we'll kind of show you doing it by hand, and then we'll look at it in the calculator. Now, one shortcut I didn't show you on the last one is that a factorial means 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But if I look at the bottom, I see that the bottom has a 5 factorial. So instead of counting all the way down to 1, I know that those two things would just cancel each other out. So I don't need to count all the way down to 1 there. Now 3 factorial, right? 3 times 2 times 1. And then again, I'd do some cross canceling here. So I'd say that 3 goes into 6 2 times, and 2 goes into 8 4 times. And then I'm going to just multiply those numbers out. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 7 would be 56. Just going to scroll down here a little bit. So I'd get 56, which, by the way, if I put that into the calculator, right, if I didn't want to do all that by hand, I just would do 8 factorial divided by 3 factorial and 5 factorial. And you see that we get 56. So either way, you don't have to do it by hand, or you can do it in the calculator. That's up to you. So 6 factorial, so that would be 6 times 5 times, and I could stop at 4 because I see there's a 4 underneath there. And then 2 times 1. So the 4s cancel. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 5 would give me 15. So I then just need to multiply those two together. And let's show you that too in the calculator. If I did 6 factorial divided by 2 factorial and then 4 factorial. By the way, we have to put the parentheses in here because otherwise the calculator, when you're doing more than one thing on one side of the fraction, we have to put parentheses in there. Or we want to put parentheses in there. Sometimes it gets it right, but then sometimes it doesn't. And so we get 15. So now we just multiply those two things together, 15 times 56, and we get 840. So there's 840 different groups that we could come up with. What kind of groups? Well, a group that has 3 guys in it and then 2 girls in it. Right, so 840 different groups. But we had 2 different combinations because we were talking about 2 different things. Right? We were talking about guys and then we were talking about girls. So those are 2 different things. Right? Whereas on that last problem, when we were talking about just friends, we weren't separating or saying like, oh, there's one group's guys and one group's girls. It was just one big group. Whereas here, we actually have 2 separate groups. Right? All right, so let's go ahead and stop there. That was 840. So stop there. Let's try number 5 on the right, and then we'll move on to number 6.